5B is 5A. Is to appoint Theresa Moore to appoint Theresa Moore to the library board.
Madam Chair, Theresa, the librarian, did send over an email that we'll have to correct that. These are 5-year term appointments. It's entered in as 3.
Isn't she a reappointment though? Okay.
No, she's not. She's on another board.
Okay.
She's just not this particular board.
So it'll be till
Weird, right?
2025?
2022.
Oh, 22.
Just that one or all of these?
Just the one.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Any questions? That's fine. 5D is for Ed Swanson, certificate board. Is that a reappointment?
No, Madam Chair, so this is, as you see, a very short duration. Patty Duha resigned or retired. I don't know how you want to. So her term expires in November, so he would be appointed till the end of the term, and then assuming everything goes as planned, if he makes meetings and all of those good things, we would recommend him for reappointment in November.
And 5C is a reappointment of Evie Chayeauvert. What are you with glasses?
Yeah, I can't see like I used to, or I can't read like I used to, put it that way.
D through F. Well, you can, but it helps if you wear glasses.
Right. Okay, 5B, 5E, and 5F. I think I'll just turn it over to Mr. Baum to explain.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so 5D, first is the resolution that allows the city of Taylor to purchase right of first refusal from the Wayne County tax foreclosure. Per statute, we have the first right of refusal. So attached to that is a resolution. It's very similar to last year's resolution. The only difference is date changes and purchase amount, and that all allows us to exercise our rights.
How many properties are
There are 34 either single-family residences or condos. I think there were 6 vacant commercial lots. And then there are some that we are going to ask to put on the second right of refusal for demolition purposes. So with that, you don't claim it on your first right. It goes into a blight package. If nobody claims those, they will come back to the city for free and then we would bring it forward for demolition. So there's 6 of those properties. I think there's about a dozen vacant lots that we will not claim. And usually that ends up coming back to us
anyway?
anyway.
Is Realty Transition the only contract that's
No, we are remaining going with the 2. And you'll see in the next 2 motions, there's a breakdown on each Exhibit A of which properties, as well as the purchase price for each developer. And it's very similar numerically, volume-wise, as last year. Last year we had 32, this year we have 34.
How did the other company do, and are they done?
They
sold, how many were there? Was there 5?
There are 5. One of them, though, our building inspector has said that we will need to demolish. On Inkster Road, there's a property. So that one, they're not going to complete. They have sold 2. One is within days of being completed. And then there's another one they took on that has quite a few obstacles that is not completed yet.
Okay. How about the other company? How many did they
Realty?
take on last year? How many are sold and how many are being worked on?
Realty Transition, I believe, is complete with all of them from last year. Is that correct, guys?
Yeah, within the last 2 years, we have 4.
Just last
There
year?
are a couple that are tied up in litigation that they're not able to complete, but anything
So
that
you had
they've
like 34 of them and they're all complete?
Those are all.
there's a couple tied up in litigation.
Okay. Okay.
The first year, we have a couple
And then-
litigation issues still.
Madam Chair, if I could, there are a couple on this list that we anticipate will also end up in litigation. I believe you all received an email from one of the individuals threatening litigation before we even started the process, so.
It's an investment company from Nevada.
Well,
Yeah,
He's not a current owner of any property though, right?
Yeah, we could speculate on what he did. It looks like he tried to buy it on land contract and likely paid the homeowner some money to try to pay the taxes. They did not pay the taxes, and somebody got burned.
We said he went to make a payment arrangement, but anyone knows if Wayne County only allow a payment arrangement if you're a homestead, 100%
Hey, Jeff,
homestead.
how many of these homes are vacant? Do you know, have any idea?
You know, I did drive-by pictures, some of them are tough to tell. Looking at overdue water, there's not a whole lot of overdue water, so it leads me to believe that it's probably 50-50-ish.
Okay.
I would say similar to last year, probably close to 50% vacant, 50% occupied. Like I said, there are 6 that I worked with Jamie in the building department we have identified as ones we'll want to demolish once we get them back on our right of second right of refusal, which typically is fall, so we're looking at probably spring to summer
So
demolition.
is that, will we get those for sure or not?
Nobody's ever claimed anything in the blight package because each community gets to put in, it goes in as a bundle, so you buy all or you buy none. So if not, then they give them back to you for demolition purposes. You have to show that you have the funds budgeted for demolition.
Besides those, are there's any others that are on the dangerous building list that are going to be demoed before next year?
Well,
I know just
the ones you
approved
guys
some.
just approved, that one's been, PO's been issued, so those should be moving along. And many of those were from last year's list, so we'll have the same next spring, probably. You know, by the time we get the deeds, it'll be winter time, so. Or we could purchase them now, but it doesn't make sense to do that, rather than wait for them to come back on the second right of refusal. We would get them for nothing, and then we would use the funds to demolish.
Madam Chair, for what it's worth, just to point out, the Wayne County Treasurer sent over a preliminary list about 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago. There were over 400 homes on that list. So they worked aggressively through the First Step program and through some other payment options that are available, and they got this dwindled down to 30 or 35 homes, whatever the number is. I'm only saying that to say either, you know, we're going to see a lot of success stories, or at some point in time, these extensions and these payment programs are going to run out, and this list is going to be really massive.
Yeah.
So, you know, just an FYI,
You said 200?
400.
There were 400 initially, probably earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Then there's 75, I think, 2 months ago. Then they whittled it down to 34. So, and then also to add, we've been working with the 2 developers. The Wayne County Land Bank has about 60 vacant lots, kind of the ones we've refused over the years, that they'd love to give back, and we're working, negotiating with them that they would help us go door to door, working with residents to extend their lots, do lot extensions. Yeah. So that's something that we're gonna work with the 2 developers to help us out with.
I was just going to say, that's only the city of Taylor. So again, when you think about Wayne County and all the other cities, you know, it's a big county. Our list 4 months ago was 400 deep, so.
The county actually has 64,000.
Well, what was that 7 years ago? You know, it was huge.
I don't know.
That number was huge.
Yeah.
You know,
But we've seen really good results with the program. Really transition, as well as our other developer, HP Snap, I believe are now selling 2-bedroom homes in the northwest corner over $75,000, which 2 years ago was unheard of. So, you know, the market's dictating that, as well as, you know, these homes are movable condition, all up to code. So we're seeing those success stories, which is nice.
I just talked to a real estate agent, walked in and said, they can't keep them on the market, they're selling like crazy, and they're going for good money. So
No, I mean, and they're not staying on the market long. You put a home on the market right now, it's selling within a week to 10 days.
And they're getting decent, so it's a good thing.
It is.
Madam Chair, there may be one additional item under Mayor's communication tomorrow. I'm working with Greg Mayhew now and Wade Trim on the drainage at Heritage Park. We've ran into a couple of issues on site that might change the scope slightly. We'll hopefully have that first thing tomorrow morning. As soon as we get that, we'll get that over to city council. But it is slightly, it's not a big number, but it is a timing issue because we do need to complete it in time before the JLWS. So I'm guessing in the absolute worst case scenario, it could be as high as $15,000 more. On the best case scenario, it might be inside of $5,000 more. So it's not a huge number, but we will need the authority, or we'll need to look at Plan B. So we'll get that over as soon as we can tomorrow.
What are we doing there? What, do you find a storage system we're tying into, or what's going on?
Do you want to answer the question?